Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a fragrance first impressions of the Harmonist Guiding Water. This was my mother's scent bird from actually a few months ago. She decluttered a bunch of her decant samples and fragrances, and of course I inherited them, and I decided this would be a fun little first impressions to do for you guys today. So let's do a first impressions of Guiding Water for you guys from the Harmonist. I actually love the Harmonist. I own, I think, about 5 fragrances from them. I have any reviews of the Harmonist. I have a bunch of reviews actually. I will link any Harmonist videos I have below. I do not have any experience with Guiding Water, and I was excited to try this because this is an aquatic fragrance. This has pink peppercorn in it. It has watermelon in it, which is really kind of interesting and intriguing. And they also have their Ozonic accord in here. And when I think of Ozonic fragrances, I love the idea of something kind of dusty, musty, and mineral. There's a variety of different ways that more Ozonic fragrances can lean. And when I think of an Ozonic fragrance that I viciously love, Sacred Water from the Harmonist is one of those fragrances that I just find to be absolutely exceptional. It's gorgeous. So I'm really excited to try this out. So this has, according to the little blurb from Scentbird, watermelon, aquatic notes, jasmine, white musks. There's also pink peppercorn. There is some cyclamen, lotus flower, jasmine. Did I say jasmine? I said jasmine. And again, this is something that I'm really interested to try because I know that the way that the Harmonist approaches perfumery is almost kind of from like a feng shui aspect. They try to have a really nice balance, and they're not afraid to do things that are more avant-garde when you smell fragrances like Sacred Water, but at the same time they're very wearable and they're very beautiful. There have been fragrances that I've tried from the Harmonist that I wasn't particularly super wowed by, but I still thought that they were good scents. I haven't smelled anything from them that I was particularly disappointed by. 2 fragrances from them that I just think are exceptional are Moon Glory, beautiful white floral, and Hypnotizing Fire is a super sexy scent, and also Sacred Water is a favorite of mine as well. So I'm going to do a first impression, and first impressions, obviously, I'm not going to be able to give you a full idea of how a fragrance is going to perform. It's gonna, I'm gonna let this sit on my skin for like an hour. Aquatic scents generally don't need too much time. So I'm gonna give you a first impression of the opening, and then the dry down, I'll give it an hour, and then I'll let you guys know. And if I feel this is a fragrance that deserves an updated review in a few weeks or a few months, I'll give you an updated review on that. So let's spray this, and I'll give it about 15 to 20 seconds to dry down. First, this is my mom's Scentbird. I am not affiliated with Scentbird, but my mom does pay for her Scentbird. I have a Scentbird too that I pay for. I do have a little referral code below. If you're so interested, you use that referral code. You get a free month of Scentbird. I get a free month of Scentbird. Anybody that has a Scentbird account can get that referral code. So if you have a friend that has a Scentbird account, and you can ask for their referral code, and then you get a free month, and then your friend gets a free month. I know a lot of people say that I do a lot of Scentbird videos, so I must be affiliated with them. Nope, but I think Scentbird is a great source to try some more expensive fragrances. Harmonist, for a full bottle of this, it's $225. I did do a breakdown on brands that I think are great to check out through Scentbird, and also brands that I think are ripoffs. I'll link that video below if you want to check it out. But I think we've given this fragrance enough time to dry down on the skin, so let's give it an initial sniff. I will say when I sprayed it, it did have a nice aromatic. It did kind of fill the room. I am getting a lot of watery florals. The smell is a little bit, so the ozonic note or accord on this is mixing with the aquatic notes, making it smell like kind of fresh seawater, but not like a briny seawater. So sometimes when you have aquatic fragrances, you have that kind of like fresh, idealistic, what you expect seawater to smell, and then you have what seawater actually smells like if you've lived by the ocean or a marina, and you kind of know what ocean water smells like. It's not very pleasant. It can be a little bit briny, a little bit more alive than you want it to smell. It can be kind of off-putting for some people, but this smells very bright, very uplifting. It's got some beautiful floral elements to it. Again, I'm picking up more of the lotus than the jasmine, and the white musk in here is very, very pronounced. But again, it's only been on my skin for like 30 seconds at this point. I would say that if I'm picking up any part of the watermelon, I'm smelling more of the rind of the watermelon. That kind of green, pithy bitterness, that's kind of like what I'm saying when I'm saying kind of like seawater, like that kind of bitter brightness, which is actually really pleasant and very attractive on the skin, especially if you're looking for something to wear in the more hot, humid months. Things like that are very invigorating, very revitalizing, just very uplifting without being too sweet, too salty, or too traditional when it comes down to aquatic freshy fragrances. I like those types of scents a lot. But I think that this fragrance, because of the specific florals in here, I'm going to give it, like I said, about an hour to dry down on my skin, and we will see how it smells from there. Okay, I'm back. I was literally just like on Reddit, just reading Reddit for like the past 45 minutes. And this has been very aromatic the entire time I was reading, again, through Reddit. Reddit's one of my favorite things to do. Reddit and Animal Crossing is how I spend most of my time currently. So currently, I really like this fragrance. It hasn't changed much. I don't expect a huge story in regards to how this smells. And what I mean by that is sometimes some fragrances, they smell like this, and then it develops like this. And I'm not saying it goes bad, but it just, like some fragrances, they take you on a wild ride, and some fragrances are linear, so it kind of goes like this and then it softens or goes like this. And this is definitely an aquatic fragrance. It's very crisp, it's very bright, it's very beautiful. I like how it's a watery floral fragrance without any sweetness. I really enjoy that. The reason why I like that is because I do enjoy sweet, watery florals. I really like it when they're specifically violet. Like a very sweet, watery violet fragrance is one of my favorite ways to smell. But I do like it when fragrances can be more than just sweet, because not everybody likes sweet. And also sometimes sweet notes can smell off-putting on some people's skin. So it's nice for people to have a variety. If you don't like sweet, or if sweet is the type of composition that doesn't work for your body chemistry, it's really good to have variety. And also in a lot of aquatic fragrances, I noticed that they really focus on like citruses, or they focus like on like really heavy musks, and those are fantastic. But I like focusing on florals. I think that watery florals are such a beautiful way to smell for, you know, shared fragrances, for men or women, for people who are looking for a nice, easy way to smell. And this smells really, really nice. So again, in my mind, this smells like something that would be what in your mind you would expect beautiful, crystal clear ocean water to smell like. Idealistically, what you would want it to smell like, not what it actually smells like, which is, again, like not very pleasant. It's wild. I've lived on the beach. Trust me, living, you know, going to marinas and stuff like that. Oh, no. But the idea of, again, like this idealistic crystal clear water, how would that smell? Or if you're coming out of the ocean, and how would your skin smell? Again, idealistically, this smells like that. I get that slight ozonic, sacred water aspect to this. A little bit of a dusty dryness, and I like that dusty dryness, and that works with, again, this watermelon note. And the watermelon note isn't this juicy, fruity watermelon. It feels like they cut this watermelon open, they scooped out all of this super delicious, juicy, like bright red watermelon. They got every little bit of pink out of it, and they're left with the white and the green, and that's what you smell. You're smelling the rind of the watermelon. And I think that that is such a smart way, with this slight ozonic kind of accord in there, and also this really beautiful aquatic notes, and this perfect just blend of these beautiful florals. It comes together in a way that's really pleasant to wear. It's got a slight little twist. Just again, that's what I like with the Harmonist. They're very wearable fragrances. They're very approachable fragrances. They're very easy to understand fragrances, but there is a little bit of a twist. There is a little bit of an ingenuity. There is a little bit of a something else to their fragrances that I enjoy. And I enjoy that because it feels like it's not just another aquatic. I think the bitter-esque watermelon rind and this little bit of an ozonic accord make it smell, again, like you're walking out of the ocean. So it's got that sun-kissed skin feeling with a little tiny bit of saltiness, just a touch, with these gorgeous florals. And the musk in here is really nice. It's not overpowering it in a way that offsets the balance. I think it's something really beautiful. Will this fragrance be worth $225? To me, will be about its performance. I own a bunch of Harmonist fragrances. I obviously love the brand, and how this smells is something, currently from how I smell it, would be something that I would add to my collection. I do really enjoy aquatic fragrances. Living in the tropics, even though I live in northern central Florida right now, it still gets to be very humid and hot. These are the types of fragrances that I wear year round because they're the types of fragrances that work well year round. So I do like investing in really interesting, beautiful, and wearable aquatics. I also like the Harmonist, but if it's worth $225 for me to recommend to you guys, it would have to be more to do with its performance in regards to its longevity. I will say that if you like musky fragrances, if you like aquatic fragrances, if you like watery florals, definitely give this a shot. It seems really, really nice, but at the end of the day, it is more of a pricey fragrance, so maybe try to track down a sample or a decant before you decide to purchase a full-size bottle of this. I have sampled and done first impressions of fragrances that I liked initially. I'm like, yeah, I'd buy a bottle. This is something I could see myself wearing. And as I've worn through a sample, I've decided that it's something that I either might pick up if I found it on a super discount, or maybe wouldn't even want to purchase to add to my collection. So I definitely recommend doing a few different wears of fragrances, especially if they're on the pricier side, rather than just picking it up blind. It's very important to do that. I do a lot of purchasing blind for my channel. It's how I purchase. I don't ever recommend people purchasing blind unless you have a good return policy, or you can get your money back or regift it or do something like that, because fragrances are very expensive. I don't want to sit here and tell you guys to purchase something very expensive and then have you guys be left with something that you ultimately do not enjoy. But if you like aquatic fragrances, so far this is something I've really been liking. I've been wearing it for a little over an hour right now. I've been enjoying it, and I do like Harmonist fragrances, and this does seem to fit cohesively with the other Harmonist fragrances. So if you've tried other fragrances from the line and you like their kind of like the way that they compose fragrances, I think this would be worth checking out. Maybe tracking down a decanter or sample would be worth going out of your way for. But in any case, that is my first impressions of Guiding Water from the Harmonist. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know this was a little bit more on the chatty side. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've had the opportunity to try this fragrance, I would love to know what you guys think, positive or negative. Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.